Hello, and welcome to the Physical Therapy Owners Club podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Shields, and I'm still hanging out at the beach if you see me on video. And today, my guest is Edric Zhang out of New York. He is with Medical Patient Referrals, and he is an expert on social media marketing. And I thought it'd be appropriate to bring him on during this time as owners have the time to consider their digital presence, the marketing that they do digitally, especially as we've been forced kind of in that direction with the coronavirus pandemic. But first of all, Edric, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Nathan, for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, tell us a little bit about you, Edric, and what you do for physical therapy owners, but also a little bit about your backstory and what got you to the point where you are now.
Yeah. So basically, what I do is I set up a direct access patient generation system using Facebook ads to help them acquire new patients with social media and to take advantage of all this traffic they have available to them.
Mm-hmm.
And my background has been the last 4 years I've spent in digital marketing, learning copywriting, running ads, creating profitable campaigns, and just spending a ton of my own money trying to figure things out um, for my own e-commerce products as an affiliate in my
Mm-hmm.
previous life for other like health companies and nutraceutical products. So that's basically how I got really good at Facebook ads, just spending a ton of my own money and then using those skills and now taking it to help physical therapy owners with their patient acquisition systems and processes.
Yeah. So you've been spending a lot of time on trying this, trying that, refining content when it comes to Facebook ads. And why specifically do you focus on Facebook ads? I mean, why why Facebook ads are beneficial for physical therapists?
Right. So the reason why I focus on Facebook ads in the past was just so much opportunity on there.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everyone that I know is on Facebook. Probably the same for yourself as well.
There's
Um,
probably what, 2 billion users or something like that of a nice sized country of Facebook users out there, right?
exactly. And people spend 30 minutes to 2 hours a day every single day
Really.
on social media, and the biggest growing demographics on Facebook are older people, over the
Hmm.
age of 45, people getting on, and so they could spend more time, connect with their family, and look at photos of their children and
Hmm.
things like that.
I gotcha. And so at this point, what's the how do you utilize Facebook then to drive direct access and patient generation?
Yeah. So what I do for clients specifically, or for
Yeah.
my own company.
Well, either way, well, I guess we want to be more PT specific. So what do you do specifically for physical therapists to help them get the direct access and patient generation? Because to some extent, already have some direct access capabilities with physical therapy.
Hmm. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it all starts first with creating like an irresistible offer for someone to want to come in and start a conversation with you, right?
Hmm.
So, for example, it could start with maybe like a free consultation offer if you want to be super basic, or a free discovery visit. A second type of offer, it could be like a workshop if you have
Hmm.
experience hosting those types of things, or it could be something like super unique that you do and that no one else has ever seen before, like a free laser therapy session or
Hmm.
something like that. But it all starts with coming up with an irresistible offer and then putting that on Facebook.
So a physical therapy owner really needs to be pretty specific, or at least have a niche in which they can offer or somehow be able to share some of their knowledge base in order to gain that traffic and that interest, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to paid advertising, um, all you really need is an ad, a text, and an offer, and you can start promoting that to almost to whoever you want. So you can start showing like your offers and what you have to offer, the value that you can provide. You can start showing that to thousands of people tomorrow if you have a couple of bucks to spend. on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess when I consider Facebook and talking to some of the marketing specialists, yeah, you want to get that patient and in front of that patient as much as possible so that they click and buy or sign up for whatever offer you're providing. But there's added value in simply gaining um, an email address and thus building your list so you can send them future offers, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that just getting an email address means that this person is interested in what you have to offer. It means that this person has back pain or knee pain, or maybe has been involved in a motor vehicle accident, or just has gotten out of surgery, and
Mhm.
they're just looking for related content. They're looking around, they're trying to find out who they can trust. And if they're on your email list, that means you have a line of communication with them, where you can continuously provide value and educate them and build that trust until they're ready to come in and start a conversation with you, or get the help that they need.
So how can you, I don't want to use the word guarantee, but how does someone go about really creating a successful marketing campaign on Facebook? What kind of process do you recommend they go through?
Right, for sure. I mean, so if you really wanted to, physical therapy owners, they can look at the different clinics in their city, go on their
Hmm.
Facebook pages,
Okay.
and look at their ads that they're currently running, right? Because that's all public information that Facebook has made available to all advertisers to promote the transparency.
Hmm.
So just being able to reverse engineer, what's already out there and
Okay.
what's been running for a long time is probably the best way to start to do what's already working.
And how long do you recommend someone keep a Facebook ad up before they determine if it's successful or not? I mean, do you give it 2 or 3 days, or do you give it 2 or 3 weeks before you look back and assess what the statistics are?
Right. So since we have a lot of data already on Facebook ads, I would say that a KPI that physical therapy owners should really look out for is the cost per lead metric. And
Okay.
if they're seeing their cost per leads go above $20, I would say to pause that ad and then to try again.
Oh, really?
Try a different offer, try a different image, try a different video, try a different
Okay.
angle. But you really want to try and get your cost per lead to around $10, because that's where we know that you can have a lot of success if you can get there.
And so you're saying $20 is probably it's the point at which you want to reconsider what you're offering and what that looks like and the design and whatnot. And when you say $20 per lead, that's not necessarily a converted lead. That's just simply $20 per lead, right?
Yeah, that $20 just is just someone who's seen your ad, who's given you their name, email, phone number,
Okay.
and is interested in whatever you have to offer on Facebook, be it a free consultation or a
Yeah.
$21 evaluation or something like that.
And you want to keep that number then below 10 is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you can keep it around $10, that is ideal, because not every single lead you're going to convert, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you want to have a good amount of leads coming in
Yeah.
at a solid price.
Yeah, I gotcha. Cool. And so, what are some of the most successful things someone can do as they're setting up this strategy? What are some of the components of having a successful Facebook strategy?
Yeah, so for us, it always boils down to four things. Number one is your offer, right? What do you have to offer to get someone to want to come in or give you their information?
Okay.
That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
Number two is your creative, which is it could be your image, a video, or a testimonial
Okay.
that you're attaching to that Facebook ad, and so that's the second thing that people pay attention to.
All right.
And then the third thing is your headline. Does it stop people from scrolling on social media? Does it get them to pay attention? Um, you know, is it
Hmm.
does it get people to just, yeah, kind of just pay attention to what you have to say? And then
Sure.
the fourth thing is the your body text is basically whatever else you want to put into the Facebook ad,
Hmm.
and things that you want to say to keep them reading on your
Yeah,
Facebook ad, right? You whatever you write in your ad, it has to be whatever the person is the conversation that they're already having in their head.
gotcha.
So if you can enter that conversation and you can put that in the text format, you're
Hmm.
gonna have a lot of success.
Do you find more success with more video-based advertisements versus those that are simply text?
Oh yeah, for sure. Video
Yeah.
allows you to just build a lot more rapport and a lot more trust that you can't really do with photos or with
Mhm.
text.
I gotcha. And how long should a video like that be? Do you have any recommendations?
I'd say like if you're just going after like an audience that doesn't know who you are yet and is just like people around your city, I'd
Uh-huh.
say maybe around like 3 to 5 minutes, just providing value and just
Okay.
educating people so they know that they can trust you and that
Mhm.
they know that they can you know use what you have to say.
Gotcha. And do you, and I'm sure, I think it's an obvious answer, but I'm sure in the body of the text, you're wanting to refer them over to the landing page, any YouTube channels that you might have generated or other social media as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you take them to a landing page, you can sell them some more. You can provide some more testimonials. You can
Mhm.
tell them more about your product, whatever you have to offer, and it just gives you
Mhm.
another chance to just sell them again and to really qualify someone before they come into your funnel.
So, like for me, creating content is like my biggest fear. I can do it, and I think I do it okay. But for someone who really isn't into developing that content, how would you guide them to make an irresistible offer that gets that client or that potential lead to actually reach out?
Right. I mean, you just really have to just put yourself in the perspective of your end client or your end customer, and
Hmm.
think about what it is it that they want and what they find valuable, right? Put yourselves in their shoes,
Hmm.
and just think about whatever it is they would find useful, and I would test that as an offer or content to give away.
Yeah, one of the books that I refer to is called Building a Story Brand by, I think it's Donald Miller. When interestingly, he recommends the same thing. When you're advertising to somebody, you don't want to come across as the hero in their story. If you're advertising to somebody, they want to be the hero of their own story, and you want to be essentially the guide, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi that takes this person who doesn't know their strengths and what they're capable of and develop them, and so that they can become the true hero. And I think that's good advice. Like what you're saying is that you want to talk to them as if you are the guide, but not the hero to their story. And we have to remember as physical therapists that we can't use our jargon, we can't use our vocabulary, especially the specifics. You want to get down to their level and talk about, do you have back pain that's keeping you up at night, without
Hmm.
getting into the technicalities of it per se. But we have the four things that you need to do to sleep better, something like that, right?
Right,
and
right,
and
exactly.
and just by saying that, do you find that content that has a list of the four things or the five things or how to blank, that kind of thing, is that really helpful?
Oh yeah, for sure. Those types of content always do really well. And
Yeah.
a good way to know if your video content is doing well is there's a metric you can look at on Facebook ads. It's
Okay.
called cost per through play, and
Huh.
that's how many or how much it costs you to get a 15-second video view of your ad.
Hmm.
And if that's under 6 cents, I would say that piece of content is pretty good, because that's
Wow.
another good metric to look at in your Facebook ad.
And these are all metrics that that you manage via medical patient referrals, but it's something that people can also look at themselves if they are admins on their own page.
Yep, yep,
Oh, okay.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And these are just numbers that we've found over time to establish like a good baseline for success.
Yeah, I gotcha. So as you're, what kind of when someone's considering Facebook ads and buying ads and putting them out there, should they have more than one going at a time, or just stick with one and see how it goes? I mean, that's the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is, what kind of mindset should they be in as they're considering uh, purchasing Facebook ads?
Yeah, they should definitely have more than one ad running at a
Oh,
time,
really?
because
Okay.
you can always, yeah, because this way you can see what ad is performing better and why it's performing better. So let's just say you run two ads at the same time,
Hmm.
and with one ad you're using a picture of a knee, and
Hmm.
the second ad is you're talking about the back, right? And maybe
Yeah.
the ad with the back is the cost per lead is maybe is half the price of the knee. So you're getting more bang for your buck, and then you're going to focus more on the back and do as much as you can with that.
Hmm. Do you find that some of your clients are having more success with Facebook ads now during the slowdown, coronavirus, COVID-19, because people are more engaged on social media, Facebook itself?
I'd say that the cost for advertising is definitely cheaper, because a lot of people have quit and dropped out of the race. So
Really?
that just leaves room for people who are still willing to try and adapt and try and do new things. It gives them more breathing space, since everything is cheaper now, and we're still generating new inquiries and new leads. We just have to change up the angle a little bit. So
Okay.
instead of advertising a in-person consultation, what we're doing is we're advertising a free discovery call or a free phone conversation, which leads to a virtual evaluation, which leads to a
Hmm.
virtual rehabilitation program.
Gotcha. And what would be your tip or advice for people to get those leads to actually convert? Is there some secret or magic that you like to consider when it comes to converting those people?
Yeah, so number one definitely is the quality of your campaign. So
Mm.
having yourself on video, getting patient testimonials on video, and
Oh,
putting
okay.
that into the ad,
Yeah.
and also just really calling out who it is you're looking for,
Hmm.
the pain that they're having, putting that into the text, and just stepping into their head and into the conversation that they're having,
Hmm.
will really get you qualified inquiries. And then number two is, when you do generate that inquiry, is you can't wait 3 days later to call them. You have to try and get to that inquiry right away. So
Yeah.
setting up notifications when you generate that lead, and having someone in charge of that process, and just calling them right away
Yeah.
when they're still hot and they're still super interested in what you have to offer, and that conversation is still going on in their head.
Now, the cool thing about you, we talked a lot about getting patient referrals and leads, and also and sometimes those leads take multiple touch points, right? It's not very common that you're really successful with just one touch point and the patient converts. That's why I think it's cool that you recommend more than one going out at a time. But you can get your Facebook ads down to a certain locale, a certain community, certain demographic, and once you develop that community, if you will, then you can really hone in on the issues that are arising in that community, right? And so your content and your output can be very much specific. That's when it seems like it's more powerful, and the capabilities of converting increase. Would you say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Now, have you also used any of this for recruiting purposes? Because I see you, or the capability of physical therapy owners using Facebook ads to recruit for other physical therapists, especially at this time when a lot of physical therapists are out of work, to recruit physical therapists via Facebook ads. Have you done that in the past, or do you see the possibility there?
I've done a little bit in the past, as a small test, but we that didn't really work out too well, because we were just targeting like a very very small population.
Okay.
But I mean, the cool thing with Facebook is you can target by what they put in their Facebook profile. So
Okay.
if they put a physical therapist, you can target specifically only physical therapists that live in this specific city that are within uh, 30 to 40 years old, if that's the
Hmm.
age range you're looking for.
Gotcha. And can you also advertise to a certain locale, or can you advertise to multiple states in your region?
Yeah, you can choose exactly where you want the ads to show and who you want to see the ads.
That's cool. And I bring that up because I see that as a potentiality, even though you haven't done a lot of it yourself. I think it's a very easy crossover to say, yeah, I can use this to not only get patients and at least leads and subsequent conversions, but I also could use Facebook ads for recruiting purposes, and that would be kind of cool to try out.
Yeah, for sure. I think you would just have to keep in mind that the person that does have that job title, physical therapist, they're probably already with another company,
Hmm.
so you would have to create an angle and an offer that would attract like someone who's already working for someone
Hmm.
else, um, and go from there.
Well, you've shared with us a ton of stuff about Facebook ads specifically. Is there anything you want to add, or is anything that we didn't cover that you would recommend people consider when they're putting out Facebook ads?
Yeah, for sure. Something that people can consider is number one that for $1,000 in marketing budget, they can generate about 100 phone numbers of people within 5 miles of their clinic who have things like back pain, neck pain,
Mm-hmm.
or any type of chronic pain, and they can get them interested in a consultation with
Mm-hmm.
one of the doctors at the clinic. So the next time maybe someone thinks about buying coffee or buying a sandwich at a store, that $5 to $10 could be spent or invested into Facebook ads and could
Mm-hmm.
generate you a patient that's worth $1,500 or $2,000 and
Mm-hmm.
get you two or three more referrals. So just to keep that in the back of your mind, that's the power and the potential of what Facebook ads has to offer for clinic
And
owners.
yeah, and you at Medical Patient Referrals, you don't just focus on Facebook ads, but you also have some back end stuff, whether that's an email marketing campaign for every lead that comes through, and also text reminders or text messaging campaigns to past patients as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Marketing is only as powerful as your sales process as well, right? So if your sales is weak, but you're generating all these leads, but you have no idea what time these leads are coming in, you're not recording any of the calls, you're not getting back to them like quick enough, you're not following up, and it's just so much potential being wasted. So what we've done is we've built out a solution where as soon as the lead is generated, it gets populated in your dashboard. Your whole team gets notified. They get added into this email and text sequence where for the next 2 or 3 weeks, they're getting testimonials, they're getting content, they're getting value sent out automatically. And if someone does schedule someone from Facebook and for that evaluation in the office, then my system will uh, it'll know, and then basically it'll send them reminders leading up to that evaluation, so it helps with the no shows as well. And then after someone comes out of that evaluation, the system is going to know, and then it's going to send them follow-up emails asking them about their experience, about how their visit went, and when they want to come back for a second visit, or if they already got treatment, if they want to leave feedback and leave a review. It's all automated, so it
Mhm.
just makes things so much easier for the clinic.
Well, that's cool, man. It's great that you have that because you don't want to get their information and then, like you said, just leave them hanging, especially for 3 days at a time before you respond back to them. If you can just push them into an email marketing funnel and have automatically generated emails that send out testimonials and whatnot, that's when the power comes through and reminds them that they had some interest to begin with and hits those multiple touch points that are needed to eventually get them to convert. That's great that you guys automatically provide that.
Yep, yep, definitely.
So if people wanted to reach out to you and find out a little bit more about you and what you're able to provide, how are they able to do that?
They can just go to my website, medicalpatientreferrals.com, hit the live chat button, start a conversation with me,
Hmm.
get on a call. I can see what's going on with their clinic,
Hmm.
and then I can show them, the stuff that we have built out, our campaigns, the ads, the success our clients have seen, and if that's something they're interested in, we can work together.
Awesome. Well, dude, I appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for coming on, Edric.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for having me. I
All
really
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah.